Hello, Reddit. I'm not entirely sure how to start, but I'm really angry, sad, and confused, and I need some perspective. I'm a 20-year-old guy, Nate, and my girlfriend, Lauren, is 22. We've been together for 2 years and live together in an apartment. We tend to party quite a bit, especially on weekends. We usually have fun, but something happened recently that I'm not sure how to handle. To get straight to the point, the other night we had a party at our place and I got way too drunk. I remember drinking more than I should have. I'm not proud of it. I know I should have had better self-control, but it got out of hand. From what I recall, I passed out in the middle of the party, then woke up at some point in the early hours and threw up a little. Not a huge amount, but enough to make me feel pretty awful. After that, everything is really hazy. I know Lauren and her girlfriends, Brittany, Crystal, Haley, and Amanda, were there trying to help me. Apparently, they managed to get me into the shower. I thought it was just Lauren taking care of me, but I found out the next morning that all four of them had been there, stripping me completely naked to rinse me off. I had no idea the others were in the bathroom. When I woke up in the morning, a few of Lauren's friends were still in the living room. I was hungover and already felt ashamed. That's when I heard remarks from one of them, Crystal, about how I had a cute little butt and that I also looked nice in front. At first, I didn't get it. I just stared. She smirked and said something about how I should be grateful they fixed me up so I wouldn't be covered in my own puke. I confronted Lauren right away, asking, "Wait, were all of you in the bathroom with me?" She said they had to help because I could barely stand. Apparently, it was easier for them to take everything off me instead of leaving me half-dressed. I felt really uncomfortable. I'm not particularly modest, but it felt like a violation. I had no clue and never gave any consent for four people to see me completely naked and wash me. When I complained and said it felt disturbing, Lauren and her friends thought I was overreacting. They just said, "Oh, come on, we helped you. You were covered in puke." They don't seem to understand why I'm upset. I said, "If the roles were reversed and my guy friends and I showered you off while you were unconscious, wouldn't you feel violated?" They dismissed it with, "It's different when it comes to guys." I got so pissed off that I packed a few things and went to crash at my friend Dave's place where I'm staying now. I don't know what to do. Lauren keeps telling me she didn't do anything wrong and that her friends have nothing to apologize for. I feel violated, like I was subjected to some form of assault even if it was just a shower. I'm torn. Was I stupid to party too hard? Yes, absolutely. Should I be thankful they took care of me? Maybe. But at the same time, it feels awful that I was stripped naked against my will while I was out of it. Am I overreacting, or do I have reason to feel this way? I'm confused. All comments and advice are welcome. Update 1. Hey again, Nate here. I want to thank all of you for your responses to my post. I've read everything carefully. The majority of you say I'm not a jerk or overly sensitive. Of course, there are some who say it wasn't that bad and that guys shouldn't care so much about being seen naked. But most people emphasize that if the roles were reversed, it could have become a police matter. And that's exactly how I feel. Someone wrote, "Why couldn't they leave your underwear on? You can wipe someone down without completely undressing them." Exactly. It's not like I had puke in my hair or covering my entire body. They could have, at least in my opinion, let me keep some article of clothing on. I feel the whole situation is about the lack of respect for my boundaries. I went back to the apartment to confront Lauren after reading your advice. I wanted to give her a chance to understand my perspective. She was the only one there then. Her friends had gone home. I explained again that I feel humiliated, that I never would have allowed myself and my guy friends to do the same thing to her if she had passed out. She kept insisting that it's completely different for guys. She also claimed it was much easier to rinse me off if I was naked. I said I wasn't buying it, that she could at least have just taken me in by herself, not the whole group. I stressed that I would never subject her to something like that without respecting her privacy. Her response was that I should let it go, that I'm ridiculous for making this a big deal. When I kept insisting she should show some understanding, she tried to shut me down by saying we should just have sex and move on. That drove me nuts. She didn't seem interested in apologizing at all. She just wanted to fix everything quickly. So I had to leave again. I'm back at Dave's place now. I posted an update in my original thread, and here's a more detailed version. I don't know how to move forward with her if she absolutely won't admit that what she did was wrong. I'm starting to think maybe we shouldn't be together if she can't respect me in such a sensitive situation. Update 2. Thanks again for all your comments. Many of you suggest I should break up with her because she doesn't even bother to show empathy. I thought she'd at least say, I'm sorry, I understand you felt violated. But so far, I haven't gotten anything like that. In my previous update, I mentioned that I was on the verge of ending the relationship if she couldn't take responsibility and promise it would never happen again. I was already furious when I wrote that, and the feeling stuck. I stayed at Dave's for another night. In the meantime, Lauren reached out. First, she said she noticed I wasn't home and asked where I'd gone. I told her I was sleeping elsewhere for the time being because I'm so angry and hurt. She replied, okay, take the time you need, but you'll see that I did nothing wrong. I was honestly shocked that she still claims she has nothing to apologize for. Some of you asked if she might be insecure or afraid to admit mistakes, but I see her mostly dismissing everything. She honestly doesn't seem to care how I feel. It's like she thinks I'm overly sensitive and that it should be enough that she helped me. I tried to explain again via text, more calmly. I wouldn't have said anything if you were the only one who showered me off, but there were 5 people in the bathroom and I was unconscious. It feels like assault. Her response, you were covered in booze, puke, and other nasty stuff. Did you really want me to leave you like that? I wrote, no, but you could have handled it more respectfully. Then she stopped replying. Later that evening, she sent a new text. I have nothing to apologize for. I think you're overreacting. I guess you need to cool down. Those quotation marks felt really condescending. I just got more upset and sad. Those of you on Reddit have pointed out that this could be a form of gaslighting, making me think I'm imagining things. I'm starting to believe it. I finally told her I'd get in touch the next day because I couldn't deal with her messages anymore that night. Thank you for your continued support. I'm now fairly certain I don't want to keep living with her. I'm really ready to walk away from this relationship because I can't see a way forward given how she's acting. Do you guys think it's the right call to dump her? Update 3. I've really made up my mind now. I called Lauren and said I didn't want to continue the relationship. I explained that I can't be with someone who won't apologize or acknowledge why I feel violated. At first, she was silent, but after a few seconds, she lost it. She started calling me childish, ridiculous, saying I was overreacting. Then she flipped it all on me. You were the one who drank too much, you made a fool of yourself, we were only trying to help and now I'm getting all the blame for this? I reiterated that it's not about me drinking too much. It's about them stripping me naked in front of her 4 friends. Suddenly, she started making cruel comments about my body. She claimed her friends had actually laughed at how I looked down there and that they didn't really think I had a cute butt. It was mostly just a joke. That hit me hard. I felt so humiliated. I hung up because I just couldn't listen anymore. Shortly afterward, she started bombarding me with texts, verbal attacks, belittling remarks, a total rage storm. I blocked her after a while because I couldn't take it. Those who asked if I love her, well, I thought I did, but in that moment all I felt was disgust over how she acted. It's one thing to fight, but to resort to personal attacks and try to humiliate me for breaking up. The next day, I noticed she tried contacting me from another phone, probably borrowed from a friend, or maybe via email. The tone had changed. She was now apologizing, saying she was just angry and hurt, that she wasn't thinking straight, and she didn't mean what she said about my body. She wrote, I'm sorry I was so harsh. I said stupid things in the heat of the moment. I kept ignoring her. Then another message came along where she also apologized for the shower thing, but it was vaguely worded, like, I understand you were upset. Sorry if you felt uncomfortable. I didn't feel it was a genuine understanding of why it was wrong. I replied briefly, I'm done. I don't want to see you again. Then she flipped out once more, sending really angry texts. You're an idiot. Do you seriously think you'll find anyone better? You'll come crawling back when you realize no one else wants you, and so on. I blocked her again. Since then, it's been quiet. I'm guessing she's given up or is thinking of new ways to reach me. Update 4. My buddy Dave and I went to the apartment to get my stuff. I didn't want to go alone because I wasn't sure what Lauren might do or if her friends would be there. When we arrived, she was home alone. She opened the door and looked pretty tense when she saw Dave was with me. I gave her no room to protest. I went straight to the bedroom and gathered my clothes, laptop console, and everything else that's mine. She stood in the doorway saying she regretted what she said, that she never meant to hurt me, that her friends didn't mean anything bad either. She said, please, can we talk this through? I kept packing. I could barely speak to her. Just seeing her made me sad. I said, I don't think we have anything else to talk about. I'm done. Dave helped me carry my stuff out. Lauren got upset and started crying a bit. I could tell she regretted it on some level, but she'd had so many chances to realize what she'd done. This could have been avoided if she'd shown respect from the start, or at least afterward, but every step she took was either belittling me, mocking me, or apologizing just to placate me, not because she truly understood her wrongdoing. So now I've left my key. I'm staying with Dave until I find my own place. I'm not proud it ended like this, but I can't be with someone who doesn't respect my boundaries. You on Reddit gave me the courage to see I wasn't imagining things, that being stripped naked while unconscious in front of multiple people was a form of assault. Whether it's legally punishable or not, it's not okay, and it clearly shows her lack of consideration. I don't think I want any contact with Lauren. I can't imagine continuing this relationship. She's apologized, but only after realizing she couldn't talk me out of it otherwise. It's too late for me. A few days ago, I might have forgiven her if she'd genuinely shown remorse, but after she started insulting my body and saying stuff like, "You're not worth anything anyway," when I broke up, that crossed a line. I just want to put this behind me and move on. Maybe in the future I'll realize I have things to work on too, especially around my drinking. I've learned I shouldn't black out so easily that I end up in extremely vulnerable situations. But the responsibility not to violate someone's boundaries always lies with the person who chooses to do so. In this case, Lauren and her friends. I'm hoping this post can be the end of it. Thank you to everyone who commented and supported me. If you have more questions, I'll be happy to answer them in the comments, but I doubt there will be any more official updates. Thank you for all your support. Nate.
If you liked this story, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. It helps a lot, and you won't miss out on any future stories. Take care and live your best life.